right. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Bakersfield Business Partners podcast. My name is Duncan Harris. I'm the owner of Insurance Savings Group and the past president of Bakersfield Business Partners, which is a BNI chapter here in Bakersfield. And BNI is a networking group. And really, our group is committed to helping our members grow their business through education and through referrals, but also through relationship. And we think we have the best group in town. We know we do. And that's because we have the best members. So we started a podcast to highlight our members. And I have Marcy back again for her second time. Marcy, say hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being with us today. And the first time we talked to Marcy, we kind of got to know a little bit about her. Marcy, just really quick, remind us though, tell us what you do, who you are.
I'm Marcy Parmley. I'm a farmer's insurance agent. My office is located at 3612 Coffee Road, Suite B in Bakersfield, California.
Perfect. And how long have you been an insurance agent?
This year, 20 years.
Oh, man. Yeah. So a little while. Yeah. You know a little bit.
It flew by. I mean, I was looking at that on the calendar and I'm like, really? 20 years? But when you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day, right?
Oh, my gosh. That is so true. Well, very cool. I've known Marcy for quite a while. It's always a privilege to talk to you and learn from you. So that's what we're going to do here today. So, you work for, I guess you're a business owner, and Farmers Insurance is the insurance that you sell. So let's kind of dive into insurance. Maybe everyone just kind of thinks, hey, I bought a car, I bought a house, like I need to just get a policy now or whatever. So, I mean, tell me, everyone's got insurance. So like what are some tips that you could offer that are like good ways maybe to save money on insurance?
The most important thing that you can do to save money really is just put all of your insurance with one company, whatever company that is, because every company that is a multi-line policy that sells auto, home, life, investments, they're going to give you discounts because they want to keep you. If you have more than one policy with them, you're profitable to them, so they're going to give you discounts. So like at Farmers, we give you a 25% discount if you have more than one car. So you want to put both of them together. If you insure your house, you get another 25% discount off your auto insurance. If you have life insurance with us, you get another 5%. If you have motorcycles, dirt bikes, jet skis, you can get another 15%. So really just keep everything together, I would say, with the same company is going to give you the best overall. Don't look at how much you're paying for your homeowners or how much you're paying for your auto. Look at how much you're paying annually for all of your insurance. And by packaging it together, you're going to get the best rate.
So maybe that's the first thing is people should look for a multi-line company.
I think so.
Like Farmers.
Right. Some that you can get multi-policy discounts and just keep everything together. The second thing that you can do is make sure that your insurance agent knows what you do for a living, what your wife does for a living, and if you guys have any college degrees. For example, we give a discount for nurses, doctors, dentists, chiropractors, correction officers, police officers. And if I don't know what you and your wife do, I can't offer that discount. We also give a 10% discount if you have a bachelor's degree in science, maybe biology or geology, something like that. So, if I don't know that, I can't offer the discount. So make sure your insurance agent knows what you do for a living and if you guys have any college degrees.
The science nerds are safer. They're a better risk than the rest of us.
The insurance company has figured that out, I guess. So, and you know what? The nice thing about it is you don't even have to work in that industry. You just have to have that degree.
You just have to have it?
So I have a lot of stay-at-home moms, that when I ask, hey, does anyone have a college degree? We find out that she has, a biology degree, but decided to stay home and raise a family, which I think is the best occupation in the world to have. But, she didn't realize that she qualified for that discount.
So, and what you're kind of touching on almost makes me think of another point where I know you have a lot of personal contact with your clients. I mean, phone calls, in-person meetings, and you're doing that to dig up this information, right? To find out, hey, we have your home and auto, but do you have a motorcycle?
Right.
And maybe everyone thinks, oh, that's a sales tactic, but actually it's just going to get them additional discounts. So as you're meeting with people, you're digging up information that actually is beneficial to them.
Right. One of the big ones that's popping up right now is for years, we've offered a mature driver discount for clients that are over 55 that go online and take a 2-hour class. There's no test. You just watch some videos and read some slides. And because of that discount, I can add a 10% discount onto their auto for 3 years. But you have to be over 55. So when I first met the client 20 years ago, they were 35. Now they come in for their annual review, and I'm like, how old are you now? Okay, you're 55. Oh, I got a discount for you. So if any listeners are wanting to do that, you don't have to take it with Farmers. You can take it with almost any insurance company, but just ask them if they offer the mature driver discount. And the website to go to is www.maturedrivertuneup. That's TUNEUP.com. And the class is about, if they use the discount code FARMERS15, they'll get it for about $20. And you take the class. It takes about 2 hours. You're going to get a DMV certificate, give it to your insurance agent, whatever company it's with, and usually you'll save 10% for 3 years.
Wow. Wow, very cool. And then at the end of 3 years, can you do it again?
Take the class again.
Take the class again.
And husband and wife want to take it because you get the discount on the car you're rated on. So if your spouse is also over 55, have them take the course as well. And again, there's no test. It's not really a class. It's just some videos and some slides that you watch. Takes a couple hours, pay the $20 with the discount code, and then save, a few $100s a year for the next 3 years.
Very cool.
So I can't wait till I turn 55. I got a couple more years, but that's a discount I'm looking forward to.
Something to be excited about as you get older. What else? Any other tips that are super helpful?
One more. The biggest one that I find for my clients is simply raising their deductible.
Okay.
Most people, when they shop their own insurance, especially if they do it online, they want the lowest deductible possible. They don't actually do the math to say, well, if I raise the deductible from $500 to $1,000, what happens to my premium? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm an insurance nerd. I've done that math. Mm-hmm. And what I found out is most people can save $500, $600, $700 a year simply by raising their deductible from $500 to $1,000. So yes, if you have an at-fault accident, you're out an extra $500. But if you save $600, it's a wash. You're still ahead. And honestly, most people don't have an accident every year. So every year you don't have an accident, you're $500 or $600 ahead.
You're just saving money. Yeah.
Right. And then that one time you do, okay, yeah, you've got $1,000 deductible. But you can really save a lot of money, especially if you have a lot of cars, if you just simply raise that deductible. I mean, I've got $1,000 on my cars.
Yeah. I feel like everything we just touched on, you are able to dig up by meeting and talking with people. And that's one of the things that scares me a little bit about people going online and just buying insurance, like, clicking whatever. Oh, I want this price. I want that price.
Right.
Is number one, no one's asking them the right questions.
Right.
And then number two, they don't even know what coverage they're getting. So maybe let's kind of shift gears here, right? So is a policy through Farmers or through you this the exact same as something I could get online?
It depends. I mean, you can get Farmers online.
Okay.
If you go to farmers.com, you can pick your own coverages. The neat thing about Farmers is we're not going to leave you out there. Once you issue that policy, it's going to be assigned to a local agent like myself.
Good. Okay.
I get an email that says you went to farmers.com, you picked your policy, this is your coverage. I have your phone number, your email. I reach out to you and I go over it. Most of the time I find out that they chose their own deductible because they didn't realize the savings. They just picked the lowest liability limits. They didn't know what that meant. So yes, you can go online, but you can also go online with other insurance companies, low-cost insurance companies where you're not assigned an agent. Now, okay, you have the policy, whatever you choose. And what most people don't know is that all insurance companies don't have the same policy. You assume that all insurance companies, as long as you have 100,000 liability, that it's the same between all companies. It's not. They each have a deck page which explains all the exclusions. And I've read most of them, and it is scary. So, for example, a lot of low-cost insurance companies, without naming them, will have an exclusion that they exclude acts of God. Okay? You're reading the policy, you think, oh, no big deal. But what does that mean? If you get in a hailstorm and your car's damaged, no coverage. That's an act of God. A windstorm comes and a tree falls on your car. No coverage. That's an act of God. You're in a flood, a hurricane. Anything like that, anything weather related, they're simply not going to cover. You're driving down the highway, you hit black ice, you roll your car. Sorry, act of God, black ice. So at Farmers, we don't have those exclusions. Another big exclusion I see in some of the low-cost insurance policies is they exclude off-road coverage. Now, my husband is a off-roader. I mean, he rock crawls and does all that. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about simply being off a paved road. So you take your new Jeep out to the dunes in Pismo and you roll it, which happened to my client just recently. Luckily, he was with Farmers. We covered off-road coverage, not a problem. But if he would have stuck with his prior insurance company, there would have been no coverage because he wasn't on a paved road.
So you see all these things, you learn all these things, probably because people are calling you and they're saying, hey, this just happened to me. And then you're helping them, I'm sure, diagnose the problem.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. Yeah. And I also read the policies.
Sure.
My client will bring me a policy and it might be $20, $30 cheaper a month. And they're wanting to know why they're paying more. So I read through that policy and I can say, okay, well, they don't cover off-road coverage. They don't cover acts of God. The other big one that most people don't notice is it says they don't allow permissive use drivers. Let's say they're with farmers and they've had a farmer's policy forever, and they know that they've always loaned their car to their brother maybe. Maybe he needed to go pick up a refrigerator and he needed to borrow the truck, or their daughter's car was out of commission, so they loaned it to her, and they've always been covered. Now they switch and go to a cheaper company to save a few bucks, and now all of a sudden they find out that that's not covered. They normally don't find out until they actually have the claim.
Until there's a claim.
They don't read the policy, but their daughter will, her car will be in the shop for a couple weeks. They got a spare car. Go ahead and drive it. They've always, Farmers has always allowed it, but they're not with Farmers anymore. She gets in an accident. They file a claim and they find out, oh, no, you don't have permissive use driving. We only rate you and your wife, only the people on the policy.
Marcy, do you see people that they kind of go away, they chase the lower rate, and then they come back?
They always come back. I tell my staff that. When we educate them, we tell them, you're going to have these holes in your policy. This is the difference. But, I understand if you want to save some money, just be aware. Be aware of what the holes are. Usually it's right after a claim. They find out it's not covered. They call me back and they ask, would it have been covered? Yep, it would have been covered.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Then they're lifetime clients.
So can we go back to liability? You touched on it about a minute ago. The state has minimum requirements for liability coverage. What are those? Do you know?
1535.
What does that mean?
That means 15,000. Anytime you see a number 15, 2,500, it's always in thousands.
Okay.
So that first number 15,000 means that's how much liability coverage you have to protect the other person in the other car in the event that you cause the accident.
Okay, so I go through a red light and I hit a family in a van, and I've got the minimums. I've got $15,000. Yep.
That's 15 for one person in there, which, by the way, isn't even going to cover the ambulance ride to the hospital. You've got 30,000 for everyone in the car. Okay. Even if it's a family of 10, family of 5, and you have 5,000 to repair that person's car. I don't know if you've been shopping for cars, but there's no cars out there for $5,000. That's the minimum. If you go online or call 1-800 number and ask them for, the minimum that you need to get by, that's what you're going to have. Now, what that means is if you get in an accident that exceeds those limits, you're still responsible.
Right.
Okay. The insurance company is going to pay what you purchased. They're only going to pay what you purchased, and then you're going to have to pay the difference.
Yeah, and just so people know, one day in the hospital is $15,000. If you send someone to the ER, it's going to be probably $25,000 to $40,000 if they're in like the ICU.
Right.
And then look at it this way: like let's say you knock over a traffic sign, a stoplight.
Right.
That's going to go way past your property limit to repair that. Or let's say you injure a husband or a mother and they can't work anymore. Right. What is that disability claim going to be? $200,000, $500,000?
Right.
This person can't work for the rest of their life. And then your policy, which has the state minimums, is going to pay them $15,000.
Right.
So then you'd be sued. You'd lose your house. You'd lose any other assets that you'd have.
Right.
Why does the state have such low levels of coverage? What is that about? Who knows?
I have no
idea. There's no reason.
Other states have minimums of 50,000.
Okay.
California has 15,000. I have no idea why. But I did have a client, you were talking about hitting a telephone pole.
Yeah.
I had a client that swerved to miss hitting a dog. It was a stray dog.
Yeah.
So she swerved. She didn't want to hit the dog, but she ran off the road, hit an electric pole, which knocked out the electricity to the local McDonald's.
Yeah.
And it took 2 days for the electricity to be turned back on, and McDonald's sued her for $80,000, which was their lost sales for 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But she had good coverage. She had plenty. We took care of it.
Well, I get it. I'm in the insurance business. I don't do home and auto, but I see what happens. I see the little, I swerved to hit a dog, and how it turns into an $80,000 claim. I see that, but most people don't. They think, hey, I'm fine, whatever. I'll go online, I'll call an 800 number and just get the cheapest thing. So let's talk about that, right? I mean, someone could call you, or they could go online and get an 800 number. I mean, kind of talk us through that. What should they be aware of? What are they missing if they're just going online and maybe not having any personal interaction?
The advantage of having an agent like myself, a couple things. One, when you call that 1-800 number, you're being routed to the Philippines, okay? Which might be okay if the person speaks really good English and you can understand their accent, but sometimes people have a problem with that, depending on who answers the phones. Also, you're on hold forever. I mean, we tried to call an insurance company yesterday for one of our clients. It took us 2 hours to get a live person. And when you call my office, it's right here in Bakersfield. I can write insurance anywhere in California, but you're calling my office no matter where you live in California. And I have a team of 6, including myself. I have 5 licensed agents that work for me. We will answer the phone. A live person will answer the phone every time within 8 rings, unless our office is closed. If our office is closed, you can text us. You have my cell number. You can call our 1-800 number. Farmers does have a 1-800 number. But the advantage is you're going to get someone right away. Also, you're going to get the same person. If you have a 1-800 number, all you are is an account that pops up on a screen whenever they answer the phone. They don't have to get back to you. They don't have to answer for what they did. They can tell you one thing and then you say, okay, fine. You call back later and you're like, well, that other person I talked to last time told me yes. You're always going to talk to my staff. You're always going to talk to me. If I'm in an appointment, you can talk to one of my licensed agents. If you want to talk to me, they'll send me a task. I can give you a call back. So you're not going to have that whole time. Also, when you speak to my office, we know you. We know your situation. We know your family. We know that your kid's getting ready to go to college. We're going to recommend that you need renter's insurance. You know, you might not have known that. We know to ask those occupational questions. You know, if you are moving out of state, which unfortunately is a big thing right now. We know you. We know that you still have that house here in Bakersfield. We need to switch it from a homeowner's to a landlord policy. And we're also accountable. I mean, you can hold us accountable. If you call us and we say something and it ends up being different, you can call me. You can walk into my office. You can look me eye to eye. Sometimes stuff has to be fixed in person.
Sure.
You know, I've had clients that will come over and maybe they need to upload a picture of a dent in their car. You know, the insurance company is doing it online now. They don't have a smartphone. I know that's weird, but there's some customers who don't, or they don't have email. And so they'll just come in and say, hey, can you take a picture of this? Sometimes forms have to be notarized. You know, they can come to my office. So the advantage of having an agent really is that relationship. Someone that you can hold accountable, someone that knows you, that will answer the phone, that gives you their cell number. You can reach them after hours. I've talked to lots of clients, you know, in the middle of the night because something happened. They need to get a hold of someone, or they had a fire, or just need to, you know, don't call me about your bill at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
But if your house burns down, go ahead and use my cell phone.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've built an excellent team. I mean, could we talk about your staff a little bit? You know, I know you have, is it Jennifer? And how long has she been with you?
Jennifer's been with me for 20 years.
For 20? I was about to say, it's been a while, almost the whole time.
Yeah.
And she does a lot of commercial coverage
She's
for
my
you.
commercial insurance broker. So she works with me inside Farmers. And she handles all my investors. We have a lot of investors in town that own 10, 20, 30 rental properties. And we need one person dedicated to them because they have special needs.
Sure.
You know, we have to know about all their properties, liabilities. Some of the houses are rented, some are vacant. There's just a lot of stuff. So Jennifer handles all of our commercial, which is our business insurance, and then our investors. She's also my office manager. So if any of my other staff need support, she'll jump in and help them.
And then who are the other girls?
Angela.
Yeah.
Angela does my new business. So if I have a client that calls in or walks in and they're not already a client, maybe a lender or a mortgage, a real estate agent referred them over because they're getting ready to close escrow on the house. She handles all the new customers, walking them through the process, introducing them to the agency, all of that, making sure they close on time, escrow closes.
How long has Angela been with you?
Angela, you know what? I hired Angela back when she was 18. I was her first boss. I managed the Carl's Jr. here in town, and she came to work for me. And then when I opened up my insurance agency, I brought her on. She left for a few years, did some other things, but came back. So, more than 20 years I've been her boss.
So I want to just say I had the privilege of sharing an office with Marcy for a few years when I started my own agency, and it really was amazing to just watch your team work. And I'll say this, it was the same when you were in the office and out of the office. And I mean that as a compliment,
Good, thanks.
right? And not that you were gone all the time, but one might expect, hey, when the boss is out, things might get lax or loose. It just was not like that. And watching you, you're so organized. That's definitely one of your strengths. And just you help the girls stay real. The whole agency is very organized. So when you say, hey, we know you, we know who you are, we know about your kids and if they're going to college, and that was so true. I would just kind of listen to the meetings that you'd have, I think it was daily. And
we have morning powwows.
Morning powwows, and this is what these are the issues, and this is what we have to get done. And he called in, and there's an issue with this account, and everyone was just on the same page, and I was so impressed by that. So it's very true. If you call Marcy's office, number one, someone's going to answer, which is so great, right? They're here in Bakersfield, they're local. And then number two, it's a very high likelihood that the person that answers the phone can actually just take care of your situation right there. Right. They know what's going on. They know your account. And no, it was very cool. It's something, I try to replicate in my agency. And you've done a great job. I just wanted to talk about Jennifer and Angela. They've been with you a long time. And I think that says something. Number one, you take care of your people, and then they take care of your clients. So anyhow, I just wanted to commend you on that.
Yeah. Well, let me mention the other ones as well.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
I do have, because they're going to be listening to this, and why didn't I mention them? Megan and Jasmine have both been with me for about 6 years. They handle all my existing customers. They're my customer service reps. So if you're an existing customer and you need to add a car, get an evidence of insurance, ask about your bill, make a payment, make any changes, they're going to handle you. So when you call the office, you're probably going to speak to either Megan or Jasmine. If they're out of the office or they're helping a customer, then of course Angela and Jennifer will jump in, or even myself. Sometimes customers are shocked because I answer the phone, but that's because the rest of my team's taking care of somebody and the phone's ringing and I'm not going to let it go voicemail, so I answer it. And our newest team member is Grace. She just started in August. And she's also licensed. We got her fully licensed, so she's an insurance agent. She's the one that answers the phones, and she's the smiley face that you see when you walk in. Still in training, but she's getting there. She's learning very quickly, and she's providing outstanding customer service.
Awesome. Yeah, so the team continues to grow and get a little better. And well, very cool. So anything else you want to touch on that you'd like to share with us? I mean, just about maybe tips you could share, or, things to look out for, when it comes to just general lines insurance.
Well, one of the things that I have taught my staff and I tell my clients is insurance is a waste of money. And most people look at me strange when I say that, and they're like, what? And it's a waste of money until you have a claim. Then it's worth its weight in gold. So when you have a homeowner's policy and you pay, $600 a year for 20 years and you never have a claim, it's hard to see the value in that. But rest assured, when that house burns down, Farmers is going to completely rebuild it. We're going to replace all of your furniture with brand new items. We're not going to prorate it. We're going to pay all the fire department fees. And I'm going to relocate you away from the construction site. I'm not going to rent a travel trailer and park it in the driveway like some insurance companies do. Okay, I'm going to rent you a nice, fully furnished house in the same neighborhood. When you have that claim, that's when its value is. When you rear end somebody, accidents happen. Snow, ice, whatever, maybe you're a little tired or maybe just not paying attention or driving too fast. When you have Farmers, you rest assured that, okay, I've got the right coverage. I'm not going to have to worry about this. I don't care if the person sues me. I've got an umbrella policy. I've got that $1 million coverage. It's going to be fine. And usually I will tell the clients that, they'll call back and they'll say, well, how big's the claim? What's going on? I said, it's fine. You're covered. It's okay. Don't even worry about that. Let farmers handle it. So, you can save money by going with a low-cost insurance agency or company, but when you need the help, are they going to be there? When you have the claim, are they going to pay out? So, we spend a lot in insurance. You want to make sure that you have a good policy when you need it.
Well, and a good team behind the policy. Is it really worth, $24 a month or whatever?
Right.
Yeah, that's not, my peace of mind's worth more than that. So
yeah. And also, does your agent call you every year? Okay. We reach out to all of our customers every year. We want you to come in. We want you to do your annual insurance review. It's not so we can sell you more insurance. I mean, if you need more insurance, we're going to mention it. But really, it's for us to see what holes you have in your coverage, overlaps that you have. Maybe we can help you save money, discounts you're not getting. If your agent is not calling you for an annual review, call them. Reach out and say, hey, can I come in? If they don't know what an annual review is or it's not important to them, then find another agent. Call me.
And people just don't realize how much things change. They move, they get a different car, their income changes, their job changes, their kids, go to college, they
Move
come
out,
home.
come home.
All these different things happen that affect, your policy, and
Right.
maybe you want to tweak this policy and that coverage limit. So no, I totally get it. So
And then make sure your agent knows everything, all of your insurance policies. We had a client that had their auto and home with us for years, and we had an umbrella policy. As time went by, he went and bought a motorcycle, decided to get it insured somewhere else, which is fine. But he goes and has a big claim 3, 4, 5 years later, and I find out for the first time that he has that motorcycle and it's insured with another company, and he only had 25,000 liability limits. Okay. But I had 250,000 and $1 million umbrella on everything else.
umbrella,
I
yep.
didn't know to put the motorcycle on the umbrella because I didn't know about the
Correct.
motorcycle.
Yep.
So he had this big lawsuit and we weren't able to cover it. But had he just told me, hey, I have a motorcycle, even if he decided to keep it with the other company, I would have made sure that he had the right limits and that it was listed on the umbrella. So just help your agent be your advisor. Help them help you.
Let's talk about that for a little bit. I'm in the insurance business also, and I feel like sometimes people are very scared to tell me the truth. And I have always felt what you just said, I agree with 100%. If people can open up to me and share with me exactly what's going on, I am going to put them in the absolute best policy that I know how to. And I think you'd agree with this. One of my biggest fears is putting someone in the wrong policy or the wrong coverage, and then it comes back. Right. I would feel terrible. Right. So I always kind of want to know, hey, what's going on?
Yes.
What do you need? And do you experience that where people, for whatever reason, they're scared to tell you? They think you're going to tell on them to the insurance company or something.
Well, I think they think that I'm a salesperson instead of their trusted insurance advisor. Okay. And sometimes I have to tell them, help me help you. I can't help you unless you tell me, give me all the information, but I'm on your team. Okay, I'm here. I'm your trusted insurance advisor. My job is to protect your assets. My job is not to sell you more insurance. If you need more insurance, I'm going to advise you of that. You can get it from me or you can get it somewhere else, but I want to make sure you're covered. I want to make sure you have the right insurance. And sometimes I tell customers, our policy is not the cheapest. You can go there. You can go get that insurance company and save a little bit of money, but these are the holes. As long as you're aware of those holes, then go ahead and make that educated decision. But if you've got a 4-wheel drive pickup truck, you probably don't want a policy that doesn't cover off-road coverage. Okay.
Right.
If you loan your vehicle to family members occasionally, you probably don't want not to have permissive use coverage. So just, tell me what the situation is. Be honest with me. If you need to save money, if you're coming into your review and say, hey, Marcy, I need to save money. My husband just got laid off, or hours just got cut, or hey, eggs are $8 a dozen. We need to save money. I'm okay with that. Let me know. I know how to save money. We'll adjust your deductible. We'll get rid of some of the fluff. For example, maybe get rid of rental car or towing. You don't necessarily have to have that. But let's not lower your liability limits. Let's raise your deductible. If you're 55, let's take that mature driver tune-up class. Let me know what the situation is and help us help you.
Perfect. No, I love it. I couldn't agree more. Well, let's shift gears here really quick. We'll kind of wrap up. We're going to talk about our BNI chapter, Bakersfield Business Partners. How long have you been in the group? Do you know?
Since the beginning. 2008. So that's 15 years.
Yeah, we're going on 15 years.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Just tell me a little bit, if you could, how the group has helped your business grow.
My number one source of new business, new clients, comes from Bakersfield Business Partners. Absolutely. The relationships that I've built in there, not only is almost every member in there my client, which makes me feel good that they trust me, but they refer me to their friends, their family, their coworkers, their contacts. And so honestly, I can say, because I track all this, I'm weird like this, I get between $40,000 to $50,000 in new business referrals from that chapter every year. It is the most a profitable way to advertise. I mean, I pay $500 a month to be on Life FM radio.
Mm-hmm.
I pay $300-400 a month phone book ads. I send out mailers. I buy leads. None of that compares to the amount of new business that I get from Bakersfield Business Partners, and it's a commitment. It's 7:30 to 9 every Tuesday, but I just block it off on my calendar. I've been doing it for 15 years. My staff knows that I go. And if that is your best source of new business, you're going to make that happen. And I'm not about to stop because I don't want you guys to fill it with another insurance agent. I'm sure there's hundreds of them in town that would love to have our spot, but I keep paying it. I keep paying my renewal fees. I keep coming in every week. I keep giving qualified referrals to all of our business. I just got an email. They sent me an email telling me how much my lifetime.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I got the same one. It was a summary.
Yeah, it was like almost $1 million in referrals that I've given to other members. And it was like, I think it was like 1,500 referrals that I've given over the years. And I was blown away because I didn't know they kept track. I knew that we keep track on a yearly basis, but it was nice to see my lifetime.
Well,
results.
But let's break that down. 15 years, 1,500 referrals. That's 100 a year. That's 2 a week. Yeah. That's you just doing 2 a week. Yep. Every week for 15 years. Yep. Well, look, that's fantastic. Obviously, you're a great asset to the group. You bring a lot to the group. You've been there a long time. It's obviously helped your business grow. For those listening, we meet every week at 7:30, and we have the same meeting structure where each member gets to stand up and give a 60-second commercial about their business, why they're unique, what makes them different, what's going on in their industry, what's changing, what's new. And all the other members are educated as to what's going on with farmers insurance or with real estate or whatever it is. And then we don't allow any other insurance agents that are selling home and auto into our group. So Marcy is the only one there who can fill that role. And then she's there every week. She's networking. She's building relationships. And over 15 years, it's produced incredible results. But it's just a time commitment, which is, time is valuable. But it didn't cost you any money per se just to show up. We have a small fee that we pay. But anyhow, look, it's fantastic. That's great to hear. And we're so happy to have you as part of our group. And thanks for coming on the podcast. It's always fun talking to you.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, good. And happy Friday. And until next time, this is Duncan. And come visit our group, Bakersfield Business Partners, Tuesdays at 7:30. But until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.